Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of the Live After SAE podcast with my wonderful co-host Glen.
Hi Curdy, how you doing? Thank you very much. And our next English-speaking guest for today, Mr. Ben Eely. Hi Ben, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yourselves?
Righto. Okay, so before we dive in, each guest has to answer 3 simple questions. And they go like this. Ben, who are you? What do you do? And why do you do it?
So I'm Ben Eely. I'm a 23-year-old Steadicam operator and camera operator based in London. I grew up in Oxford, and then went to the SAE Institute in Oxford and studied there for 2 years, where I really got to learn Steadicam. Came out, and then within the last 3 to 4 years since I've left uni, I've been really honing my craft as a Steadicam op. Still got a long way to go. I really chose Steadicam and camera operating in particular because I was always interested in the cinematography kind of side of filmmaking. But I've got a long way to learn if I ever want to become a cinematographer, because there's so much, you need to put so much time into learning lighting, camera operation, everything in general, where I always loved the more movement side of the camera. So I really chose to focus my career into Steadicam and camera operating as a very niche area. So yeah, that's pretty much me.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, so we're going to talk about you as a cameraman later as well. First of all, I would like to know, when did you finish uni?
I think I went too many years actually. I finished, it would have been 2.5 years ago actually, so not 3 or 4.
Okay, no worries. So 2018, is that correct? Okay, that's when I finished as well.
2018 graduate, yeah.
All right, sweet. What got you into videography in the first place?
I was doing A-levels, which are 16 to 18 in the UK. I was doing chemistry, biology, physics and maths. And I quickly realised in my first year that it definitely wasn't for me. And at that time, I already started to buy my first DSLR cameras, my first kind of lenses, first little bits of lighting, and was starting to do photography and starting to record some videos. And then after my first year, I decided to drop out and then go to college. So I went to college and did digital media for a year just to see if I'd enjoy it more, because I really didn't enjoy the chemistry, biology, physics and maths I was doing. And I absolutely loved it. And then after my first year at college, I decided to apply to SAE just to see if I'd get in off my portfolio and the few qualifications I did have. And luckily I got in, and that started the career.
That's really amazing to hear. After that, how did you continue? Did you continue as a freelancer, or I think you're working as a freelancer, right? How did that happen, and why did you choose that way?
So the whole way during uni, I started to invest in more camera equipment. So I've got my own half-decent camera, and then I've got all my own Steadicam equipment now and camera operating kit. But through uni, I was starting to do small little freelance projects for different companies, and they started to build all the way through uni. So by the time I left, I was in a position where I had a few clients, so I could start working with them more often, starting to pay my bills through them. I was doing a few jobs straight out of uni just to build, just to be able to pay all my rent and bills and everything. But when it got to a point where all of my freelance work was getting me enough income a month, that's when I chose to drop everything else and really focus on that.
It is.
Wow, that's a brave move, right?
Quite scary at the time. There's been a few months where it's been a bit low, but in the last year, even with the COVID, my Steadicam career's really pushed up, because I've only been doing Steadicam properly for, I'd say, about 1.5 years with the big rig.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, with my big rig, because Steadicam's a very big investment to get into. The kit roughly costs about £50,000 to £60,000 for one of the top level pieces of kit. So I had to take out a big loan and save up everything I had to buy one of those about 1.5 years ago. And then since then, I've just been really pushing myself as a Steadicam op and not taking some of the other jobs I was taking as a videographer, just to try and get
Makes
the reputation for myself, just being a Steadicam operator.
That really makes sense.
Yeah, so you're really committed to your, I don't know, to your belief, I'm going to be like the camera guy. So you bought a very expensive camera and then pushed everything else away, right?
Yeah, I bought a very expensive sled. I don't even own, no, I still own a camera, but I never use anymore. So all I've got is the Steadicam sled, which without booking a job with a camera is completely useless.
Okay.
We are let's say, the FBI of the internet, and we are doing a lot of research before we invite someone to us. We had a look at your portfolio and realized you're doing a lot. Almost seems like mainly music videos. How did that happen?
Yeah, I do a fair bit of music videos. So when I first bought the rig a year and a half ago, I was pretty much lost in where to really push myself to start with. So there was a few areas that are a bit easier to get into, which are student films, passion projects, and lower end music videos. And I was first doing a few postgraduate university short films. So that's where I was starting to like get the basis of learning how larger sets run, how just getting all my practice in for Steadicam, getting my portfolio built. And then within about 3 months, I was starting to pick up a few music videos, and I actually met my current 3 housemates on a short film / music video shoot. And I really hit it off with them. They're 2 directors of photography and a focus puller. So we just all got on really well, and they started bringing me on all of their projects. And then within, I think it was about 11 months, we'd all moved in together.
Wow, it's all about connections, isn't it? That's a funny story. So I watched the Vista music video with the song Stranger. This one really stood out to me because it looks like it's one big continuous shot, but I bet it isn't it?
So that music video was actually a passion project. Like I'm a very big fan of their music and their band. I have been for a few years. And then one of my friends, who's a director, told me that he had a Vista's music video coming up. So I said, he said, there's no money into it, but if you fancy just having a play around for a day, and I absolutely was keen for it. And then we started working, and I told him about a month before that I really was looking to do a music video that was shot as a one take or looked like it. So he came up with this music video to have all these hidden cuts to where we changed mannequins out. And I thought it was a really cool idea. So I was definitely 100% keen for it. But it was quite a long day.
I bet.
We also watched your show reel. And what I found really interesting is that as a person who has many friends being filmmakers, and I watch all their show reels, they're mainly just showing their work. Just, I did that video, I did this, showing cool shots. But you are a bit different. You're showing yourself working. Yourself are part of your show reel, which is really good. And I'm just really interested in, how did you make that decision to just show yourself working in your show reel?
Yeah. Well, firstly, that show reel is about a year old now. It definitely needs updating. But the main, I think Steadicam show reels are a bit different than, let's say, your director of photography show reel, your just normal director's show reel. Mine needs to show in particular that I can, all of the Steadicam aspects, so longer takes, whips that land perfectly, and then I also need to show what I can do. So that's why I've got myself within the show reel. So there's a bit where I'm stepping backwards onto a crane that's lifting me up to show that I know how to use cranes.
Yeah, that's sick. I love that.
So it's basically just showing everything I can do, because without showing that I'm backtracking onto a crane, you could just think that was a techno crane. It was just a gimbal on the end of something just being lifted up. So it's just, showing that it's me on the end of the camera.
I love those shots, really. So correct me if I'm wrong, but whenever I see you in those show reels or on your Instagram, I see you wearing the GPI Pro Titan arm. I think that's the name of the whole rig. And is that like your USP, your unique selling point?
There's three parts mainly of the Steadicam rig, which is the vest, which is the thing I wear. Then you've got the arm that comes out the side that isolates the movement, and then you've got the sled, which is the thing that is all balanced. So the GPI arm is probably one of the best. It's personally what I thought was the best when I was buying in the industry. A lot of people have them. And then the sled was actually my main selling point for a while, because I went on the company Tiffin, who first made the Steadicam rigs, ran a course once a year in Europe called the Gold Course, which is the top level training you can get from Tiffin directly. So they only take 16 people a year, and I was lucky enough to get on that in 2018, I think, in May. So I went there and did all the training, and they were just about to bring out their new model, which is the M2 Volt, which I currently own. So I came off of that course and went to see it at their first trade show in London and put my order down straight away. And I had the first model in the world. So that's what originally was pushing. I had the first one in England for about 6 months.
What?
So I was definitely trying to use that as I've got the only one.
Wow, that's mental. And I also just found out that this thing weighs around 70 pounds, which is like 30 kilograms. And I'm really wondering, have you ever tripped with this thing on?
So yeah, it weighs, it definitely depends on the camera package that you've got strapped to the top of it. So for some lighter red builds, it can weigh a bit less, 25. For some, I've flown one before that was the ARRI LF, the big one, with the signature primes, and that was coming in about nearer to 35, 40 kilograms. So it was quite heavy as a full package. And to answer your question, yes, I've fallen once with one. I was doing a shot tracking sideways up a vineyard on a quite steep hill. I was just running up and the ground gave way and I just slipped. My foot gave out from underneath me and I just went over with it, which was only one filter broke, luckily. Nothing stupidly expensive broke, except for my pride. That was quite damaged for the rest of the shoot.
Oh God, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely taught me not to to definitely look over the ground before I do anything, because I definitely never want to fall over again.
Just to come back to Glen's question, so that's, you really got some sort of technical USP there. Is there something you would advise younger filmmakers who just finished university, that they save up to something that makes them, not only from a knowledge point of view, but also from a technical point of view, you have to book this person because he just has technique that nobody else owns?
So I'd say with the kit wise, it's a bit of funny ground. So you need to have, there's two things. You can get smaller rigs, which the SAE Oxford I went to has a Scout, which is probably Tiffin's smallest rig. So that's what I learned on. They're brilliant things to learn on. So you've got that and a Zephyr, which was the first rig I bought. They can't take very much weight. They can probably take about 9 kilograms of camera weight, and that's it. So you can't do any of your bigger jobs. So when you need to buy a bigger rig, which you can get secondhand for around £20,000 to £25,000, you need to be able to buy one of those to just be able to do the larger jobs. But after that, it definitely comes down to technique and how good you are. So I've only been doing it a year and a half. I'd say I know how to operate, but there's about 100 people in the UK, which I'd still say are better than me. They've been doing it 10, 20, 30 years. Yeah. And for me, it's like I can get close, but when I'm watching their work, it's so much better than mine. Normal person probably wouldn't see that much, but anyone within the film industry would notice the difference. And they can do a few things that I still can't, a few movements, but it's all practice after that to get better and better and better, and it just takes years and years.
Yes, I think Kurt and we can really relate to that, because it's a similar story in the audio industry when it comes to mixing or mastering music. It's a similar story, so I feel you. Yeah. So my follow-up question on that is, how important is equipment as soon as you finished uni? Do you really need the latest high-end tech camera for $1 million to start?
I'd say it really depends where you want your career to go. Like I knew straight out of uni that I wanted to camera operate on larger format TV shows, feature films. So I knew that the easiest way to get into that for me personally, because I can't focus pull at all. So I'm just going to rewind a little bit and go back. So for me, definitely in the UK, there's two ways to get into the camera department. So you can either start as a trainee, go to loading, which is running the back end of the camera with the clapperboard and slating, and then up to focus pulling, and then you step all your way up until you can either, from a focus puller, go to camera operating or directing of photography, or you become a Steadicam operator and really train in that, and then start to eventually, the people you work with a lot will start letting you operate normally and booking you for B camera, Steadicam, which is the area that I kind of want to and starting to live in.
That's interesting. The next follow-up question would be, if you have the technique and have the knowledge leaving university, how important is networking? Or can you also just look in the internet for jobs? How important is it really in your part of filmmaking?
So I'd say within England, because that's where I've done almost all of my work, is when I came out of uni originally, I didn't have too many contacts within the areas I wanted to start working in. So I was looking on different websites, forums for any postings for any jobs at all. I think in my entire career, I've booked about 3 jobs off of Facebook forums and different things. So
Wow.
yeah, there's not that many. Most of them have come through contacts, like slowly building contacts up. So, for example, the housemates I live with, the directors of photography, they put me on pretty much all of their jobs they need Steadicam for. So I work with them a lot. Through them, I've met different producers, which then hire me onto different things. So within London especially, everyone knows everyone. So you very quickly start to build up connections with people. The more you work with people, the more they're going to book you. So that's what I've been finding over the last year and a half, is make as many friends as you can, because they're the people at the end of the day that are going to give you.
I love the honesty, mate.
It's true. He's right. Same.
It is true, yes.
Same with audio in Germany. Then, how important is social media as an operator in a technical job?
Personally, I love Instagram. I use it quite a lot. My Instagram is pretty much just the main aspect of it, like the main actual posting of photos, is all work related. So I just like to put all my nice photos I get of BTS on there. And then every time I'm at work, I'm always posting stories all the time. So I just like to show I'm busy. Even if I'm not, we've got a kit room in our house which has got equipment in. So I'm always, if I'm ever tinkering or playing around with anything, I'm always using that to show that I'm never like lulling around. Even during COVID, I was trying to post as much as possible, because for me, I like to remind people that I'm still around, and the more people see you.
Yeah, be top of mind all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, especially producers. The more they're seeing your name pop up on their Instagram or anything, the more they're going to remember you. So that's the way I like to think about it. And also, I love using Instagram.
Yes, mate, I do a very similar thing, but there's always a dilemma between working and hustling and focusing on whatever you do and then taking pictures at the very same time. And, it kind of drags you out of your focus. So I'm really struggling with that. Earlier this year, I think in the beginning of January, we had a chat via email to schedule this very appointment here. And you said you were heading out on a film for 5 weeks. And I'm curious if that happened at all due to COVID.
No, so in UK at the moment, the whole COVID situation is a bit of a mess. The film was supposed to start originally on the 4th of January. It then got pushed back to the 8th of Feb, and then which is supposed to be starting next week, and now it's been delayed again to the 28th of February. So they're just trying to push it as long as possible to make sure they've got everything in place so we can film safely.
Oh, okay. Can you talk about it? What it is you're working on?
Yeah, I can talk about it. Yeah, it's a little bit. I haven't read the script or anything yet, so I don't know a load about it. But so I'm the A camera operator and Steadicam op on it. It's a 5-week feature that's shooting 1 week in London, 4 weeks in the Lake Districts in England. And it's the third film I'm doing with this director. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can say about it.
All right, okay. No worries, sorry. Also, I found a fun fact on the internet, and I'm not sure if that's correct, but I read that you also have a diving license, a PADI diving license. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, that's sick. What's the best spot you ever dived at?
So I've done almost all of my diving in Spain on the Mediterranean. I started when I was 14, and then I'm fully qualified PADI diver now. So I've got plans eventually to get my UK underwater camera operator dive license, so I can start doing large projects. But I'm definitely, for the next few years, going to focus on building the Steadicam and then camera operator career before I start jumping into another speciality.
All right.
But it seems like a good way to combine a thing you love, like a hobby, and work underwater. That's really cool. Just out of pure interest, what are you diving for? Like shipwrecks or just underwater landscape? Or what's that? What is it that fascinates you that much?
I mean, I just since I've been small, I've always been interested in swimming. I love being in the water. Every time I go to the sea, I'm always straight out to the buoys. And yeah, so the second I could at 14, my parents offered to let me go on the little tester thing at this dive center near me. So I took them up on it straight away. Pretty much came out and asked for all my Christmas and birthday money to be spent on the dive courses.
Oh.
And within that summer, I'd
Nice.
done as many dives as I possibly could. And then every year since, I've been saving up all my money from when I've been little and just diving as much as humanly possible. In the 4 weeks we went to Spain every year.
Wow, that's so cool.
That's really cool.
Personally, I think I'm afraid of diving because of the pressure and stuff. So I only go snorkeling. All right.
I'm a bit jealous. I think I would need to have a diving license too. I would really like to go like diving for shipwrecks once somewhere. And I don't even know why. It just interests me.
No, I've got a few spots around the world that, especially shipwrecks, that I really want to go to. Probably not the best time to go traveling at the moment, but I've definitely got plans in the next few years to go to a few places and see some cool wrecks.
Well, yes, I fully understand. I think we're slowly moving forward to the end of the episode, and in the end, we also have one more standard question. What's your number one tip for students that are just leaving the SAE for a good life after SAE?
From what I've experienced, it's all get as many contacts as possible. Find out what you want to move into. So if that's script writing, if it's camera department, lighting department, anything, especially I'm talking from the film's perspective, but find out exactly what you want to be in 10 years' time or 5 years' time, and then find either what's below that or how you get your entrance in and try and build contacts as quick as possible. So when I was coming out of uni, I did message a lot of different operators, Steadicam operators, about any advice they had. And a lot of people in the UK are very openly will talk to you and give you advice. So I use as much of that as possible to find out where I needed to go. So that's where I found out about the gold course that I went on that really boosted my operating in general. And that was from a few operators just suggesting that I go do a course. And then if I really enjoy it and I'm showing that I'm understand it and good at it, then buy a rig and then slowly push away into the industry. So contacts and then asking everyone that's above you or is where you want to be for advice is probably the best thing that I can give to anyone.
That sounds good. that sounds like something nice to end this episode to. If people want to contact you, where can they do it? Obviously, I think Instagram. Anywhere else?
Yeah, Instagram's the best place to message me.
If they want to.
We're going to put that in the show notes, so people's going to add you.
Really good, really good. Okay, then I would say, Ben, thank you for joining us for this episode. I think we all learned a lot.
Thank you very much.
And enjoy your evening.
Have a good
Thank
one.
you very much.
See you later, mate.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.